Hello, hi to everyone. So, in our previous video, we have discussed the concept of parallel forum structure. So, we will now in this video we will discuss one problem related to parallel forum structure. So, realize the system given by difference equation. This is the difference equation, okay, in parallel forum. So first step is, so we have to write the given equation. Thereafter, we have to convert discrete time equation to frequency domain using a set transform equation. Okay, so y of n, y of z, so minus 0.1. So how we will write this y of n minus 1? Y of z, y of z, z inverse plus 0.72 y of z, z to the power of minus 2 plus 0.7 x of z minus 0.252 x of z. So x of n minus 2 means z to the power of minus 2. So thereafter we have to separate input function and output function separately. Then we have to take the common factors in each function, that is input function, this is output function and input function, right? So after that we have to arrange this equation as like this, that is, so we have to define the equation for h of z. So h of z is equal to y of z divided by x of z. If we are cross multiplying these two, we will get this equation. The next step is very important. Okay, so we are converting the above equation, okay, constant plus numerator and denominator. Okay, so here how we got this equation, right? How should we have to convert this equation into this equation? See here, so the numerator equation we have to consider here, okay. The denominator equation we have to consider here. This is the first step. So in order to convert from this equation into in this equation, okay. So thereafter, the very important concept is we have to write both the equations from the higher order degree to constant. See here, for example, here I have wrote minus 0.72 z inverse plus 0.1 z inverse plus 1. So again I wrote this equation first higher order degree of this term minus 0.252 z to the power of minus 2 plus 0.7. Thereafter we have to find out this value based on the first term of the equation. If you are multiplying these two equations, we will get minus 0.252 z inverse plus 0.035 z to the power of inverse plus 0.35. Thereafter, we have to change the equation. You know very well, this is the divider method. Okay, you know very well how to solve this divider method. Okay, thereafter, so the first term get cancelled out. So there the remaining term is 0. Minus, here we have changed the sign, right? Minus 0.035 z inverse plus 0.35. Okay, so we have to write this constant term. See here, this constant term here. Okay, so this one we have to write in the numerator, right? And this one we have to write in the denominator. Again, here while writing the equation, we have to write from constant in the higher order degree should have to go at the right hand side. So the constant term should have to come first in the both the numerator and denominator. We have to write like this. While doing the divider option, we have to convert so higher order degree to constant in both divider and dividend. Okay, so after writing this using a partial fraction method, we have to find out the transfer function. So for this equation, we have to keep this 0.35. Similarly, just we are going to change this function or this equation, okay, uh, uh, to different transfer function using a partial fraction method. Okay, so you know partial fraction method very well, so no need to teach. Okay, so using a calculator, find out the denominator roots. Okay, you will get these two roots. Thereafter you have to find out a and b values. Okay, so after find outing the a and b values, I will teach how to find out for first one for a. Okay, so we have to consider the whole equation in the LHS side. So this is the method of find outing the a and b value of writing, right? So here I am going to teach how to find out the a value, right? These two will get cancelled out, right? So here in the left hand side we have L, so in the right hand side we have z minus sorry, in the right hand side we have I mean here this is right hand side, this is left hand side. So I have taken this a in the left hand side, this value, this equation in the right hand side, 0.35 minus 0.035 z inverse divided by 1 minus 0.8 z inverse. So the remaining root is, here I have two roots, right? 0.9 z inverse and minus 0.8 z inverse. Here I have in the denominator 1 minus 0.8 z inverse. Here the z inverse value is 1 minus 1 divided by 0.9. How we got this z inverse is equal to minus 1 divided by 0.9? So we have to write this equation. See here, I have written here 1 plus 0.9 z inverse is equal to 0. Then this 1 comes in the right hand side. Thereafter we have to find out the z inverse. Z inverse is equal to minus 1 divided by 0.9. That's all. Right. So you have to substitute this minus 1 divided by 0.9 in this equation wherever we have z inverse. Thereafter, using calculator, find out the a value. Similarly, you have to find out the b value. After find outing a and b value, you have to substitute those values in this equation, because we have to draw the parallel form structure. So this is our final equation. The equation looks like this. This is the general equation C plus, this is the h1 of z transfer function, this is the h2 of z function, right? So thereafter, so we have to take this one as h1 of z, this one is h2 of z separately. So same here also we are considering the direct form 2 structure. I have taught already, right? By seeing this equation we can directly draw the structure. That how can we find out this is a direct form 2 structure? Means this is the delay element. Okay, this delay element will comes at the middle. Actually here we don't, this is very simple equation, that's why we can't find out exactly. Anyway, we are placing the h1 of z and h2 of z one after the one below the another. So here we can't get any confusion. Okay, so here also we are applying direct form 2 structure, right? This is plus means minus 0.9, only one delay element and one adder. So here we are adding x1 of n with the 0.9 z inverse. This is our constant. Okay, constant. So this is our second term, right? This is our second term, numerator. So here we have only constant term. This is a constant multiplier. Usually we will write like this, right? You know very well these things. Similarly, we have to draw the structure. Just here we have to change. This is a 0.8 z inverse. x2 of n is added with this term. Okay, here the constant term is 0.144. Okay, so you have to still, if you are unable to understand, please go through the direct form 2 concept. It is there in the description link. Okay, afterwards come to in this concept. Otherwise, you can't understand. Thereafter, right, we have constant term. This is our constant term, right? This is our constant term 0.35. These are h1 of z. This is a h1 of z. So here x of n is multiplied with constant h1 of z, right? And also constant and also h2 of z. That's why x of n I have written here. Okay, so it will multiplied with constant, it will multiplied with h1 of z, it is multiplied with h2 of z. This is h2 of z, this is h1 of z, this one is a constant. So I have to write one after the one below the another, then I have to add these two terms first, constant and h1 of z. This is h1 of z. This is h1 of z, right? This is constant, right? This is h2 of z. So we have to add all the terms using a adder element. This is an adder element, right? So this is my final output. Okay, this is a parallel for a realization of above problem. I hope you will understand this video. If you like this video, subscribe my channel, share my channel, and don't forget to like this video. In the next video, we will come with the new subtopic of the chapter 2. Okay, um, with very interesting topics. Okay, uh, thank you. Bye bye.